Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. Today we're going to recap the college basketball and NHL from yesterday, look at today's games, the return of the NBA tonight. We'll look at the NBA stuff, soccer, golf, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over the results yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. So, a lot of interesting ones for sure. Lehigh over Army, 85-54. Greensboro over Western Carolina, 71-65. Penn State upsets number 12 Illinois, 90-89. Presbyterian over Winthrop, 78-55. LaSalle over St. Bonaventure, 72-59. Number 8 Duke over Miami, 84-55. Number 13 Alabama over number 24 Florida, 98-93 in OT. George Mason upset number 16 Dayton, 71-67. Notre Dame over Louisville, 72-50. Clemson over Georgia Tech, 81-57. Oklahoma State over Cincinnati, 80-76. Longwood over Asheville, 80-75. Charleston Southern over SCFC, 63-60. St. John's over Georgetown, 90-85. BU over American, 67-52. Richmond over Rhode Island, 85-77. St. Joe's over George Washington, 79-75. Navy over Loyola, Maryland, 69-62. Holy Cross over Bucknell, 73-59. Mercer over LaSalle, 87-78. East Tennessee State over VMI, 82-69. Chattanooga over Wofford, 81-65. JMU over Marshall, 84-58. Georgia State over Coastal Carolina, 72-71. Jacksonville State over Middle Tennessee, 76-68. So, best bet lost. Sanford over Furman, 74-72. South Florida over UTSA, 66-61. Rice over UAB, 94-71. Memphis over Charlotte, 76-52. Indiana State over Valpo, 83-64. UIC over Evansville, 88-79. Southern Illinois over Murray State, 72-68. Bradley over Missouri State, 86-62. Illinois State over Northern Iowa, 81-73. Drake over Belmont, 84-69. Providence over Xavier, 79-75. Nebraska over Indiana, 85-70. Georgia over Vandy, 76-64. Number 7 Marquette over DePaul, 105-71. LSU over number 17 Kentucky, 75-74. On a buzzer beater, broken play, and everyone stormed the court. Wichita State over Tulsa, 79-63. Mississippi State over Ole Miss, 83-71. New Mexico over number 22 Colorado State, 68-66. Pepperdine over Pacific, 89-70. And ULV over Air Force, 72-43. All right, big slate tonight. I forgot about totals, so sorry, guys. 6 o'clock UMBC Maine. My line is Maine 5.7. And it is 4.5 and 152.5 over. NCAT Stony Brook at 6:30. My line is Stony Brook 10.2. And it's 13.5 and 137. I'll take NCAT in the points. Binghamton UMass my line is UMass 9.9. It's 9.5 and 143.5 over. Central Arkansas Bellarmine. My line is Bellarmine 1.6. And it's 3.5, 140.5 over. Rutgers at number 3, Purdue at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Online. It's Purdue 12.9, and it's 14.5 and 138.5 over. SMU FAU on ESPN2. My line is FAU 5.2, and it's 6.5 and 153.5. I like the. I don't feel good about it, but I like the over. Radford Gardner Webb on ESPNU. My line's Gardner Webb 4.8. And it's 5.5 and 143.5 over. UNT Wilmington, William at Mary. My line's UNT Wilmington 10.1. That's 10.5, 136.5 over. Monmouth Towson, mine's Towson by 7. And it's 6.5 and 134.5 over. Hampton Campbell, mine's Campbell 10.3. And we have 9.5 and 150.5 over. Elon and Northeastern. My line is Northeastern 1.7. And it's 8.5 and 144.5. I like Elon getting the points. CBS Sports Network, Drexel Hofstra. Mine's Hofstra 1.2. And it's 4.5 and 133.5. I'm going to take Drexel in the points. Charleston, UW, mine's Charleston 1.5. That's what it is in 153.5. I like the under. Lemoyne, LIU. My line is Lemoyne by a 1/10. And it's 2.5, 148.5 under. Fairleigh Dickinson, Sacred Heart, mine's Sacred Heart 3.5. And it's 4.5 and 155.5 under. Central Con Wagner, my line's Central Con 1 3/4. And it's 2.5, 124.5 over. St. Fran, PA, Merrimack, my line is Merrimack 14.1. And it's 13.5, 134.5 over. Wright State, Detroit, my line is Wright State 15.1. And it's 12.5 and 159.5. I like the under. That's too high. Oakland, Robert Morris, my line is Oakland 6.1. And it's 5.5, 147.5 over. Cleveland State, Northern Kentucky, my line is Northern by 3. And it's 2.5, 146.5 over. App State, Old Dominion. My line is App State 12.3. And we have 8.5 and 143.5. I'm actually going to lay the points at App State on the road. NJIT, New Hampshire, mine's New Hampshire 10.6. And it's 11.5 and 145.5 under. Vermont, Albany, mine's Vermont 9.1, and it's 8.5, 145.5 over. Queens, Stetson, my line Stetson 11.3. And it's 6.5 and 157.5. I'm going to lay it with Stetson at home. Kennesaw State, Florida Gulf Coast. My line's Gulf Coast by 1. And it's 3.5 and 153.5. I'll take Kennesaw on the points. North Alabama, Eastern Kentucky, my line's Eastern 8.7. And it's 7.5 and 153.5 over. Liberty, FIU, my line's Liberty 3.6. And it is 7.5 and 142.5. I'm going to take FIU in the points. 8 o'clock, Big Ten Network, Ohio State, Minnesota. Mine's Minnesota 3.4. And it's 3.5, 139.5 over. Little Rock, Southeast Missouri. My line is Little Rock 6.2. And it's 8.5 and 149.5. I'm going to take Southeast Missouri and the points. South Alabama, Southern Miss. My line is Southern Miss 7.2. It's 4.5 and 143.5. I'm going to lay the points with Southern Miss. Texas State, Georgia Southern. Mine is Texas State 7/10. And it's Georgia Southern 2.5 total 137.5. Give me Texas State plus the points and plus 126. Oral Roberts, Omaha. My line's Omaha 2.7. And it's 3.5, 154.5. I like the over. Kansas City, South Dakota. My line's South Dakota by 1. And CBKC 2.5, total 147. I'll give you South Dakota in the points at plus 118. Denver, South Dakota State. My line's South Dakota State 8.4. And it is 8.5 and 160.5. Oof, under. That's way too high. St. Thomas, North Dakota State. My line is North Dakota State by 4/5. And it is St. Thomas 1.5, total 137.5. Give me North Dakota State in the points and even money outright. Southern Utah and Texas Arlington. Mine's Texas Arlington 8.5. It's 8.5, 155.5. I like the over. Texas Creole, Grand Utah Valley. My line's Utah Valley 10.8. It's 13.5, 148.5. I'll take Texas Rio Grande Valley in the points. Grand Canyon, Tarleton State. My line's Grand Canyon 3.9. And it is 5.5 and 140.5. Give me the over. Cal Baptist, Abilene Christian. My line is Ab Christian by 1/10. And it's 2.5 and 134.5. I'll take Cal Baptist in the points. Idaho, Northern Colorado. My line is Northern Colorado 9.75. And it's 10.5, 145.5. I'll take the over. Eastern Washington, Northern Arizona. My line is Eastern Washington 5.8. And it's 7.5, 156.5. I'm going to take the under. 8:30 SIU, Edwardsville, Tennessee Tech. My line's Edwardsville 4.7. And it's 2.5 and 136.5. I'm actually going to lay the points with Edwardsville. Moore State, Western Illinois. My line's Moore at 2.1. It's 4.5, 127.5. I'll take Western in the points. Tennessee Martin and Lindenwood. My line's Tennessee Martin 8.8. And it's 8.5, 148.5. I'll take the under. Eastern Illinois and Tennessee State. My line's State 8.7. And it's 5.5, 136.5. I'm going to lay the points with Tennessee State. Louisiana, UL Monroe. My line's Louisiana by 5. And it's 6.5, 146.5. Let's go under. 9 o'clock ESPN 2. Washington, Arizona State. My line's Arizona State 2.8. And it's Washington 2.5, total 153. I can be Zona State in the points and plus 116 outright. Michigan Northwestern, Fox Sports 1. My line's Northwestern 13.7. It's 11.5, 148.5. I'll lay with Northwestern. Gonzaga, Portland. My line's Gonzaga by 11. It's 21.5, 159.5. I'll take Portland, the points. Troy, Arkansas State on ESPNU. My line's Troy 2.8. It's Arkansas State 2.5, total 154.5. I'll take Troy in the points plus 114 outright. Louisiana Tech, UTEP. My line is La Tech 2.6. And it's 3.5 and 135.5 over. Sam Houston, New Mexico State. On CBS Sports Network, my line is Sam Houston 1.4. It's 1.5, 139.5. I like the over. Portland State, Montana State. My line's Portland State 4/5. It's Montana State 2.5, total 147.5. I'll take Portland State in the points at plus 128 outright. Sac State, Montana. My line is Montana 14.3, and it's 12.5 and 130.5 over. Oregon State, Cal. Pac-12 number 10 o'clock. My line's Cal by 6. And it's 9.5 and 139.5. I'll take Oregon State in the points. Stephen F. Austin, Seattle. My line is Seattle 4.3. It's 5.5, 139.5 over. UC Davis, Northridge. My line is Northridge by 2/5. And it's 1.5, 149.5 over. Bakersfield, Long Beach State. My line is Long Beach State 12.2, and it's 10.5, 144.5 over. Cal Poly Fullerton. My line is Fullerton 10.8. It's 9.5, 131.5 over. UCSD in Riverside. My line is UCSD 3.1. And I can't find that one. It's UCSD 3.5 total, 139.5 over. 11 o'clock Fox Sports 1, number 21 Washington State at number 4 Arizona. Men's zone is 7.25. And it's 11.5, 115.5. I'll take Wazoo in the points. Oregon Stanford ESPN 2 millions. Oregon 1.5, and that's what it is in 115.5. I like the over. Loyola Marymount Santa Clara CBS Sports Arc by Santa Clara 8.1. It's 9.5, 146.5 over. And UCSB UC Irvine on ESPNU. My line's UC Irvine 7.9. And it's 9.5 and 142.5. I like that over as well. Now move on to the NHL. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to for tonight. Sabres over to Habs 3-2. Flyers over to Blackhawks 3-1. Bruins over to Oilers 6-5 in OT. Leafs over to Coyotes 6-3. Jackets over to Ducks 7-4. All right, 7 o'clock. You have the Stars at the Senators. Stars minus 152, Sens plus 126, over under 6.5. Overs minus 144, unders plus 118. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 146, Sens plus 1.5 is minus 178. I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars in regulation, minus 105. Rangers Devils from The Rock. Jersey minus 118, Rangers minus 102, over under 6.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 255. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 205. I'm going with the Devils. I think the Rangers winning streak comes to an end here. Avs Red Wings. Avs minus 146. Red Wings plus 122, over under 6.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 152. Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 184. I'm going to go Avs in regulation, even money. ESPN Capitals Lightning. Lightning minus 2.5, Caps plus 168, over under 6.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 146, both minus 1.5 is plus 122. I like the over. Habs Penguins. Pens minus 215, Habs plus 176, over under 6.5. Overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Habs plus 1.5 is minus 137, Pens minus 1.5 is plus 114. Pens puck line. Panthers Canes, great game. Canes minus 120, Panthers even money, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 245. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 198. I like the Panthers outright, even money. 8 o'clock, Isles Blues. Blues minus 114, Isles minus 105, over under 6.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 255. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 105. I like the Blues minus 114. Bruins Flames at 9. Bruins minus 134. Flames plus 112, over under 5.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 180. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 220. I like the under. Plus money. Leafs Golden Knights Stanley Cup Final preview perhaps. Vegas minus 118. Leafs minus 102. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 114. Unders minus 140. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 245. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 198. I like the over. At plus money. Canucks Kraken. Canucks minus 126. Kraken plus 105. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 108. Unders minus 132. Canucks minus 1.5 is plus 188. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 230. I like the over. Last but not least, 10:30. ESPN plus Hulu. Preds Kings. Kings minus 154. Preds plus 128. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 116, unders minus 142. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 92. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 158. I like the Preds outright at plus 128. Now move on to the NBA. Welcome back. You've been missed. So the NBA slate. First up at 7 o'clock, you have the Magic at the Cavs. My line's Cavs 6.5, total 223 and 7/20, and it is 7 and 215 over. Pistons Pacers, my line's Pacers 13, total 240 and 7/20. That's 11.5, 247.5 on there. Knicks Sixers, my line is Knicks 1 1/4, total 228 and 3/10. And Sixers by 1, total 226.5. I'm going to take the Knicks plus the 1 and -2. I don't feel good about that one, though. Nets Raptors, my line is Raptors 1 3/4, total 230 and 7/20. And it's 2 and 231.5. Slight under. 7:30 TNT Suns Mavs. Mavs by 2, total 233 9/20 or 9/10. It's 2.5 244. Oof, under. That's way too high. 8 o'clock Celtics Bulls. My line Celtics 5.5, total 228. It's 7.5 225.5 over. Rockets Pelicans. Mine's Pelicans 7 3/4, total 227 and 7/20. And 6.5 227.5. Slight Pelicans. Clippers Thunder. Mine's Thunder 3 1/4, total 232 and 7/10. And it's 2 and 236.5 under. That's really the game of the night. Clips Thunder. Wizards Nuggets at 9 million. Nuggets 16 1/4, total 231 and 7/10. And it's 15 and 231. Slight lean Denver. Hornets Jazz. Mine's Jazz 15, total 233 and 7/20. And it's 10 and 230. Playing the time with the Jazz. 10 o'clock TNT Lakers Warriors. No LeBron. My line is the Warriors 6 3/4, total 236. It's 5.5 241.5 under. And last but not least, Spurs Kings. My line is the Kings 13 1/4, total 234 and 1/4, and it's 9.5 and 241 under. Now we're going to go over the soccer games from yesterday and look ahead to today's soccer. So we had our first MLS game of the season. Miami beats Salt Lake 2-0. Robert Taylor and Diego Gomez were your goal scorers. Miami's 1-0. Real Salt Lake 0-1. And then everybody pretty much plays on Saturday, so we will post the MLS preview predictions show either tomorrow or Friday. UEFA round of 16 first leg, FC Porto over Arsenal 1-0. That was a surprising result. Arsenal losing to FC Porto. Napoli and Barcelona 1-1 draw. That's a good result for Napoli. A Premier League, Liverpool over Luton 4-1. Women's friendly, Finland over the Philippines 4-0. Or you had one Europa Conference League game that we didn't touch on yesterday. So I'm sorry about that. KAA Gent and Maccabi Haifa was a 1-1 draw. But Haifa advances 2-1 on aggregate. So the knockout round continues. Today at 12:35, you have Dynamo Zagreb and Betis. I'm going to pull up those odds really quickly. So, Dynamo plus 190, Betis plus 145, the draws plus 220. Ooh, that's a hard one. Second leg, Dynamo leads 1-0 in aggregate. We're going to take Dynamo plus 190. They're playing well. Bodo Glimt and Ajax. Bodo Glimt plus 175, Ajax plus 170, draw plus 290. They're tied on aggregate. I think Ajax is better. I'm taking them plus 170. Ludogorets and Servette. Ludogorets even money, Servette plus 290, draw plus 230. I'm going to take... Ooh, that's a tough one, too. I'm going to do Ludogorets at even money. More Conference League, 3 o'clock. Frankfurt and Union SG, they're tied on aggregate. Frankfurt minus 105, Union SG plus 290, draw plus 240. I think this goes in the kick, so I'm going to say the draw plus 240. Ferencváros and Olympiacos. Olympiacos leads 1-0 in aggregate. Ferencváros is plus 175, Olympiacos plus 210, draw plus 240. I'm going to go with Olympiacos as the upset pick at plus 210. Legia Warsaw and Molde. Legia Warsaw minus 105, Molde plus 250, draw plus 270. I'm going to go with Legia minus 105. And then you have Slovan Bratislava and Strumgras. Slovan plus 135, Strum plus 185, the draw is plus 250. I like the draw at plus 250. All right, Women's Gold Cup, result from Tuesday night, USA over Dominican Republic 5-0. And then last night, Colombia over Panama 6-0. And then at the time of recording, Brazil, Puerto Rico on their way. All right, so 6:15 tonight, you have Costa Rica and Paraguay. I think Paraguay is going to win that game. And at 9 o'clock is Canada and El Salvador. That should be Canada's game. CONCACAF Champions Cup. St. Louis over Houston 2-1 first leg. How about this? The Union beat Saprissa 3-2. I knew something was fishy about that. Just didn't want to have the balls to pick the Union outright because people are lower on them in MLS than usual this year. We'll talk about them on the MLS show, but they got a big win there in round one. And then New England over Independente 1-0 and Calvary Orlando's 0-0 at the time of recording. All right, 7 o'clock tonight, Mocha and Nashville. Nashville minus 220, Mocha plus 470, draw plus 340. Nashville is going to win that game. I like over 3.5 goals plus 156. 9 o'clock is Cavalier SC and Cincy. Cincy's minus 195, Cavalier plus 430, the draw's plus 310. I like under 2.5 goals at plus 104. All right, Liga MX. Tuesday's results: Pachuca over Puebla 4-1. Necaxa Guadalajara. Necaxa wins 1-0. So I'm glad I took Pachuca for best bet instead of Guadalajara again. He's disappointing. All right, and last night, Toluca over Santos 1-0. And at the time of recording, America, Mazatlán, and Leon Cruz Azul are in 0-0 draws respectively. I think there's a Serie A game today. Yes, 2:45 Torino and Lazio. Torino plus 140, Lazio plus 230, draw plus 185. I'm going to go with Torino plus 140. And then we have Europa League today. A couple games in the knockaround second leg. 12:45, you have Toulouse and Benfica. Here we go, Europa League. Toulouse plus 280, Benfica's minus 110, the draw's plus 240. Benfica's better, I'm taking a minus 110. FK, Karabag, and Braga. FK, Karabag plus 180, Braga plus 130, draw plus 250. I'll go with the draw plus 250. Rennes and Milan. Rennes plus 165, Milan plus 155, the draw's plus 230. Plus 230. Freiburg and Lens. And Freeburg plus 135. Lens is 2-1. The draws plus 220. I'm going to go with Lens 2-1. 3 o'clock, AS Roma and Feyenoord. And oh, by the way, aggregate leads. Benficia's 2-1. Karabag 4-2. AC Milan 3-0. Freeburg Lens is tied. AS Roma Feyenoord's tied. So, Roma plus 105. Feyenoord's plus 250. Draw plus 230. How is Feyenoord that big of an underdog? That's crazy. I'm going to take them as the upset, plus 250. Sparta and Galatasaray. They're each plus 155 and the draws plus 250. Ooh. Galatasaray leads 3-2 on aggregate. Draw plus 250. Don't like it, though. Sporting and Young Boys. Sporting minus 310. Young Boys is 7-1. The draws plus 430. Over 3.5 goals plus 114. And then last but not least, Marseille and Shakhtar. Marseille minus 145. Shakhtar plus 370. Draws plus 270. I like under 2.5 goals at plus 112. Okay, now we'll move on to golf. We have the next tournament coming up, which is the Mexico Championship. It begins this morning at 8:30. It'll be on NBC. Tee times. Kevin Chappell, Taylor Pendrith, Robbie Shelton, Doug Gim, Andrew Novak, Justin Lauer. 8:41. Scott Stevens, Ben Taylor, Ryan Fox, Brandon Wu, Mav McNeely, Michael Kim. 8:52. Justin Sue, Keith Mitchell, S.H. Kim, Charlie Hoffman, Davis Lipsky, Josh Teeter. 9:03. Davis Riley, Nicholas Ojar, J.B. Holmes, Scott Stallings, Tony Finau, Mackenzie Hughes. 9:14. Cam Champ, Mark Hubbard, Brant Snecker, Chester V, Harry Hall, and Matt Trainer. 9:25. Henrik Norlander, Grayson Sieg, Scott Piercy, Padraig Harrington, Peter Malnati, and Francesco Molinari. 9:36. Tyler Duncan, Troy Merritt, Preston Stanley, Jacob Bridgman, Mac Meisner, Thorbjorn Olsen. 9:47. I'm just going to do notables. Harrison Endicott. 9:58. Andrew Jork or Alexander Jork. Victor Perez. 10:09. Paul Bargin. Chris Gotterup. 10:20. Robert McIntyre. 1:15. Stefan Yeager, Alex Melly, Nate Lashley, Patrick Rogers, Jonathan Vegas, Alex Battley, Matthew Neesmith. 1:26 with Grayson Higo, Vincent Whaley, C.T. Pond, Carson Young. 1:37. Tyson Alexander, Dylan Wu, Lucas Griffin, Austin Eckler, Callum Tarrant, Ryan Moore. 1:48. J.J. Spawn, Robert Brem, Evan Van Rooyen, Chad Raby, Kyung-Gu Lee, Emiliano Grillo. 1:59. Pat Gazier, Matt Wallace, Nicholas Echevarria, Matthias Schmid, Victor Norman, Davis Thompson. 2:10. Aaron Wright, Thomas Eatrick, Ryan Palmer, Roger Sloan, Chasen Hadley, James Hahn. 2:21. MJ Dauphin, Joseph Bermlett, Ben Coles. 2:32. Sammy Valimaki, Patrick Knowles. 2:43. Eric Barnes, Patrick Cootie. 2:54. Nobody really of note. And same for 305. My pick for this tournament. This is a tough call. Tony Finau won this event last year. The year before was John Rahm. Paul Reed won it in 20. Ian Poulter looks like he won it in 19. 18 was Phil. 17. When I go back that far. So this is, like I said, this is a little bit of a hard one to pick. I'm only going to lay a 10th of a unit on the pick. And the player I'm going to pick I feel like one of these long shots can win. What are Brandon Wu's odds? Ryan Palmer is 200 to 1, so is Justin Lauer. Looks like he's not even playing in this tournament, Brandon Wu. All right. I'm going to throw a dart here. Oh, Brandon Wu is in it. He's 65 to 1. That's who I'm going to pick. 10th of a unit, Brandon Wu. 65 to 1. I found him. He was in it. Okay, now move on to the news and notes for today. Not a lot. There was a fight in the Blackhawks-Flyers game last night. Nick Seeler and Reese Johnson were throwing hands. So how about this? Gleyber Torres wants to stay in New York as he hopes to be a Yankee for life ahead of contract year. We'll see about that. Guys say that and then they leave or to get traded. Shohei Ohtani is learning Spanish as Teoscar Hernandez was teaching Spanish, and Yamashita Yamamoto also got in on it. That's funny. Cody Senga is undergoing testing as he's dealing with arm fatigue. Not great for the Mets. Not great. Football. The Patriots are exploring all quarterback upgrades. Most likely, Avenue remains using their number 3 pick. Yours truly predicted that they were going to trade up the 1 on the Patriots off-season preview and predictions show. So maybe that's an option. How about this? Tyreek defends Jaden Waddle as he calls out ludicrous trade buzz. Like, I didn't even realize there was trade buzz with Jalen Waddle. That's probably just fans talking, and Dolphins have to pay everybody, and they're in that tough situation. And I said the guy on the Miami show, I think I said of the young guys, the guy I could see being traded is Javon Holland. Because I think they're going to keep Waddle. So, Justin Fields unfollowed the Bears on social media. And he says he just wants a break from the trade talk. I predicted that he was not going to get traded and they were going to trade the pick to New England. I just said that a couple seconds ago. But it's just speculation at this point. He's more of like the traditional, he takes everything personally kind of guy. So I think if anybody's be the face of the NBA post LeBron, I think it might be Embiid. And speaking of LeBron, he will not play tonight against the Warriors. Christian Wood out 2 weeks, has left knee swelling. That's not great for the Lakers' depth. How about this? J.J. Redick slams Pat Bev as Redick pulled out defensive stats versus Harden to prove point as beef continues. Oh my God. Yikes. JJ goes, luckily the cameras in the arena have better eyes than you. 29 half-court matchups, 21 of 56 shooting by Harden as consistent defender. 37.5 field goal, 42.9 EFG, and 0.94 points per direct ISO allowed on 37 isolations. I guess that's getting torched. Oh my God. Right? And then were him and Harden teammates on Philly? So I don't get why Harden got thrown into it. A 14-team college football playoff is being discussed as management committee talked 2026 expansion in today's meetings. Oh my God. Really? 14? College football head coach rips other coaches. Arizona State's Kenny Dillingham fires back and mid NIL and portal complaints. Yikes. And then Tuchel to leave Bayern as he will exit at the end of the year with club 8 points back of Leverkusen. So Bayern's going to be looking for a new manager. So there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I gotta be honest, a couple soccer ones were intriguing to me. And I'm gonna look at them. Let's see. Because there's a couple that were interesting to me. So I'm not gonna actually go with soccer. I lied. The pick that I like the most is something I just touched on. The Charlotte Hornets blew their team up pretty much. And the line's only 10. I'm laying it with the Jazz. So I'm going to lay a 20th of a unit on Jazz minus 10 against the Hornets. I don't see how the Jazz don't win this by double digits. So I'm going to lay the 10 with the Jazz. All right, so there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow for the Big Friday show. We'll try to get We Are Family in on the Friday show as well. And then we'll talk about some other stuff as well. Have a great day, everyone.